Thank you. My brothers and sisters, thank you for staying here all morning, because it is such an important occasion for us all. We have been stumbling along in this country from crisis to crisis for too long now. And today the crisis is called by what they call their budget. And it's a budget that is a crisis because it's a budget that caters for the rich and the powerful, and a budget that wants to punish the poor and the powerless in this country. And our gathering here together today is we are sick of this crisis. And we are sick of this budget, but the budget is a crisis because it is the spawn, the child of a new liberal capitalist system that is designed to give to the rich and the powerful and to deprive our people, the masses, of what, not only what we need, but what we deserve. We are clear this budget cannot even begin to cover what we need, never mind what we deserve. We need decent, good jobs, but we deserve a living wage that will lift up the dignity of our people. We need housing, but we need decent housing where our children can grow up, where our parents can be at peace, in an environment where all of us can live as if we belong here, not as if we are tucked here from some other place. We do not only need education in general, we deserve the kind of education that will give every child every opportunity that is reserved for every other child in this country. As long as we do not have that, we will have a crisis. We have a crisis because this budget is the budget of this thing they call the government of national unity. Now, with that is a crisis because this government of national unity, this concoction between the ANC and the DA with some other parties hanging like Christmas lights all around, because they are not legitimate. They do not have the trust of the people. They do not have the faith of the people. They do not have the support of the people. They were not put there by the people. They were, so Ms. Helen Ziller openly said, they were put there by the rich and powerful of this country, not to serve your needs or your children's needs, but to serve their needs. That is a crisis. And so we will address that crisis. And we will act upon that crisis. The one thing that when they formed this government of national unity, they looked around and they talked with Rupert and they talked with this one and they talked with Oppenheimer and they talked with the others. They never spoke to our people. From today on, we will say to them, whatever it is that you decide, unless you speak to your people, we will stand up. We will protest, we will block you at every turn, and we will never give you our trust. I don't know who they represent in that parliament over there. They don't represent me, and they don't represent you. They don't even represent the future because they have no vision for a future. They are illegitimate because they think only about themselves. They think only about their own interests. They think only about what makes them rich. That is perhaps one of the reasons why we do not even know why our soldiers are dying in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's not to defend our people. It's not to look after the interests of our people, but it is very well to look after the interests of a few capitalists who've got mining interests up there. And so your children will go up there, sent out there, not their children, your children, to defend the rights and to defend the interests and to defend the monies of a few capitalist companies. And that ends today. We have to be clear about that. We are not carrying the crises that they are creating on our backs, and we're not leaving it to be set on the backs of our children who follow after us. And so we have a clear, different vision for our country. I hear that they are putting together what they call a national dialogue. To do what? They want to dialogue about the wrongs that they have done over 30 years. Do they want to dialogue about the plans that they had 30 years ago that turned out to be a failure 30 years later? Do you want a dialogue driven by the same people who caused the problems we are facing today to talk about how we solve those problems they have caused in the next 30 years? You can go to that dialogue if you want to, I won't. They need to understand that our problems are not going to be solved by a dialogue held among those who have kept power to themselves and have done with that power nothing to help our people. Why is it that 30 years before 1994 we had to come together like this? 30 years after 1994 we're still coming together like this. There's something wrong in that. They will not understand it unless we make them understand it. It is not just about the budget. It's about the devastation this budget causes us at every level. It's not just about the budget. It's about the devastation in our educational systems. It's not just about the budget. It's about a system that causes us here in the Western Cape to let go of 3,000 teachers. And they're not fired from white schools. They're not fired from Model C schools. They're not fired from private schools. They're all fired from our schools so that our children have to forego this opportunity to be properly educated. That we will not take any longer. So it's not just about the budget. It's about the joblessness that this capitalist system caused deliberately. It cannot live without it. It's not just about the budget. It's about the hunger in families when nobody can find a job. Not the mother, not the father, not the children. And even if you have matric, you will not find that job. Even if you have a degree from a university, you will not find that job because of the system. It's not just about the budget. It's about the devastation it causes. It's not just about the budget. It's about the indignity of our people that we have to suffer day by day by day, and there is no end to it. It's not just about the budget. It's about the devastation of the hopelessness of our young people who are so angry and so disappointed and so disillusioned that some of them have said to me, I think the only solution is to set fire to this place. And I say to those young people, you don't need a fire, you need a revolution. And a revolution does not begin by hating white people. A revolution begins by clearing up your mind and knowing who you are and where you come from and what your struggle has been and what your dreams are and what your aspirations are and where you are going. And it's about not knowing where you go. No, it's about knowing this is my country. This is my land. You have stolen my land. I am taking it back. That's what a revolution is all about. So don't tell me about Afriforum. Afriforum can go to Trump 10,000 times. I don't care. Trump doesn't know where Lesotho is. Trump doesn't know that Spain is not in BRICS. Trump doesn't know where South Africa is. We know. AfriForum says, oh, we will emigrate to America. Ek kan nie wag vir daai dag. I don't know about you, because if they leave, then we can just simply go and occupy those homes which is ours. But they should know the one irreversible thing that's now on the agenda is that we will fight for our land. That's part of the crisis, that we do not own the land of our birth. And they must understand this. And we must all understand this. This thing that they are saying, we are stealing their land, we are stealing the land. The owners of the land cannot steal the land that belongs to them. This thing that they are saying, we are stealing the land on the basis of this law that Mr. Ramaphosa signed 1976, 1977, 1978, whatever it was, law of the apartheid is, do you think that an apartheid government will sign a law that will give you the right to take back your land? No. So listen, unless we change Article 25 of this Constitution, we will not have the right to our land. So unless they are talking about changing the Constitution, changing Article 25, the longest article in that whole, unless they talk about that, you're not talking about getting back our land. So let's begin with the beginning, and let's begin where things are right. So it's not about the budget. It's about the land and the devastation it causes when we do not own our land. It's not just about the budget. I am sick and tired of this. You are sick and tired of this. The time has come that we will be sick and tired of being sick and tired and do something about it. It is clear to me that we say, we come here today, I see on the pamphlets, enough is enough, genoeg is genoeg, and all of that, and that's true. But my question to you, my brothers and sisters, is when is enough enough? And unless we begin today to show that enough is already enough, they will not have to listen to us. We must come together as a people. I don't care about a national dialogue, but I do care about a people's assembly, where our people come together, where we talk about what we are worried about, concerned about. I'm worried about that. If we can come together and we work out for ourselves a new vision for the future, because the vision of a government of national unity is not our vision. A vision written by the DA is not our vision. A vision written by a DA who yesterday discovered, oh, there's such a thing as poor people. And now we are the champions of the poor. We are fighting for the poor. What kind of hypocrisy is that? And we have come here to say we will not believe that, we will not take that any longer. So as from today, I'm asking you, prepare yourself for when the call goes out, that we come together as a popular group of people, as a people's assembly, representatives from every province, to speak from our heart what we see, what we feel, what we have experienced, what we know, what we want, what we desire, where we are going. That's when a vision for this country will be formulated, and we must do that. They did that in 1955, but 1955 is too far back in the past. We need a new vision for 2025, and we must come together and do that. So let us say this to one another. It's not about the budget. It's about our self-respect. It's not about the budget. It's about giving your children the hope they must have. It's not about the budget. It's about honesty in government. It's not about the budget. It's about decency in politics. It's not about the budget. It's about honesty in politics. It's not about the budget. It's about courage in politics, to take the stand, to be courageous enough to stand with your people, to hear the voice of your people and not just the voice of those rich white people who keep you in power. It's not about the budget only. It's about your future. It's about your future. It's about your future. It's about your dignity. It's about your dignity. It's about your dignity. It's about your hope. It's about your right to stand up in the country of your birth and say together, from today on, I will take what is mine. I will take what is mine. I will take what is mine. I will take what is mine, so that I have something to leave for my children. So get up today, take what is yours. Get up today and take what is yours. Get up today and take what is yours and make the future worthwhile. That is a vision you should say. God bless you all.
Thanks very much, Comrade Busak. Comrades, now we are almost at the end of the process. We are going to call upon Abila Adams to come and read the pledge.
Today's protests. We, the people against budget cuts, are among the most marginalized, excluded and oppressed people in this country. It is a damning indictment that 30 years after the end of apartheid, we still represent the vast majority of the population living in poverty. Government economic policies which prioritize the interests of a wealthy few, investors and financiers, both foreign and domestic, are redistributing the wealth from the poor to the rich. Our country remains the most unequal in the world, with nearly 50% of workers lacking jobs and income. The government's budget only deepens this crisis by failing to allocate sufficient resources to ensure decent living conditions for our people. We need massive public investment to transform our schools into places of learning, our hospitals and clinics into centers of care, our communities into safe spaces, and our workplaces into sites of growth and development. Instead, budget cuts are worsening the crisis in public services and leading to the collapse of essential infrastructure needed to sustain life. Yet this country is awash with wealth. Instead of VAT increases, we need to tax the rich, increase tax on company profits and end illicit financial flows, and use the budget to redistribute resources which remains concentrated in the hands of a tiny elite. As we gather here in front of Parliament to protest against budget cuts and austerity, we make this pledge. We will return to our communities and workplaces to organize and mobilize against the suffering imposed by this government. We will rebuild our movements to fight for basic necessities of life, affordable food, housing, water, electricity, education, healthcare and livelihoods. Our trade unions, social movements, women's organizations, youth groups and faith-based organizations, both urban and rural, will unite in these struggles against austerity for social justice and dignity. We will sustain and escalate our campaigns to end austerity and privatization, bringing the fight to every municipality and provincial parliament. We will return to this parliament stronger, more united and more determined to resist the injustice of budget cuts and austerity. We will reject every attempt to divide us, whether by race, language, gender, sexual orientation or religion, and defend the unity that we have built. We are committed to continue our struggle together for the poor and the working class to claim what is rightfully ours. Our struggle against budget cuts and austerity is above all a struggle for social justice, dignity and a better life for all. It is a struggle for the transformation of our society, one that was promised to us 30 years ago, but is being destroyed by a government and ruling class that prioritize profit over people. We say, enough is enough. Kwanele, genoeg. Pansi, budget cuts, pansi. Forward to the struggle, forward. An injury to one is an injury to all. Aluta. Amandla. Amandla. Down with budget cuts, down.
Comrades, the People Against Budget Cuts Coalition wants to thank all comrades who came to the Speak Out today. This would not be our only Speak Out. We're urging comrades to go back into the local areas and pick up the struggle locally. Let's go to our clinics and demand more healthcare facilities, more staff. Let's go to the police stations and demand more police and better service at all service delivery points. This budget is not going to change without a struggle. We think that we must come together as a united working class. If we divide ourselves, we won't win the struggle. We must travel home safely today and arrange speak-outs in our communities. Amandla! Amandla! Forward to a people's budget, forward! Comrades, travel safely back home.
Thank you.